Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. We're back in the Elk Grove studio after a couple days out in Wisconsin Dells. We were here yesterday, of course, with my co-host, my lovely wife, Laura Ocean. We got a great show lined up for you guys today. Check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com, and give us a call at 847-769-8609. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, and mostly it's dedicated to people like you who take the time and watch the show. We got a great guest on today. She was back again. Right there, she's the theater critic from Broadway World Chicago, and we're going to talk Broadway. We're going to talk plays, some movies. We're going to talk sports as well. My good friend Tina St. Angelo Wetzel will be coming on very shortly. So it's good. Let's have some fun, guys. It's showtime. Let's go to work right now. Thank you, Dina Manzella from Seventh Heaven, for that great intro. Boy, it's a great day. Folks, it's Friday, first Friday in August, August 2nd. I can't believe how quick the summer is just flying by, and it's hot and rain and hot and rain. It's like, oh, crazy. But it didn't stop people from coming out last night to Zaza's in Lake Barrington. What a crowd. And thanks all the guys. Always happy birthday. Also, Filippo, the owner of Zaza's. Great food, great place. Double T, Tony Toto did an incredible job. Thank you, Sonny, cousin Tommy, Ross, Russ. It was great seeing everybody there, folks. We really do appreciate it. Tonight, we'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse at Schaumburg, 8 o'clock with Double T, Tony Toto, 3 in a row with my man T-Bone. Tomorrow, on the North Shore, we're going to Norton's in Highland Park. You know, we played there a couple times a year. Richie and Blanche, great place, folks, celebrating their 22nd year in business. We'll be there tomorrow night. Norton's in Highland Park. That's an 8 o'clock hit. And Sunday, Ocean's Rat Pack doing a road trip to Dubuque, Iowa. Summer concert out there, 6 to 8. Bill Saratella as Frank. Elliot Winbush as Sammy, yours truly as Dean, and Jerry Jams. It's going to be fun. I love Iowa. Beautiful place out there. And we got a lot of good stuff happening, folks. Let's get right to our sponsors. We got to talk about the great Ace Hardware. Thank you, Raffaello, for showing up last night from Ace Hardware. Buy a local, shop local. Summer deals happening right now at all their stores, folks. Norridge, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, Warrenville, and Mesa, Arizona. 50% off lawn and garden decor, 40% off outdoor decorative chimes, patio sets on sale, lowest prices of the season. They also have a handyman, licensed and insured handyman at the Norridge and the Des Plaines location. Also tune up that lawnmower, $105 plus parts, and take advantage of the auto key programming at all their stores. They program car cut keys up to 50% less to dealership. Visit the Helpful Hub to speak to a certified team member. And don't forget, folks, walk in, say, grill your ace off. I want to grill my ace off, and you get $20 off any grill purchase. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Our good friends from Ace. Let's also thank our good friend Mary Grievous. If you're looking for real estate at its finest, Mary is the girl for you, everybody. That's right. Now, perfect real estate professional, whether you're putting your home on the market and looking for your dream home, give her a call today. Available says buyers, sellers, for sale by owners, expired listings, Berkshire Hathaway Stark Real Estate. That's Mary Grievous, M. Grievous at starkre.com, or give her a call at 630-688-1725. Also, folks, if you're looking for real estate, that's what she does, but she also works for NTD Vacations. And you know what that means? The Chicago Music Cruise 2025. It's that simple. You missed the one in January. You don't want to miss the one coming out March 22nd through March 30th, 2025. Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. Oasis of the Seas. This one is 8 days, spring break. The last one was 7 days. We're going to start off in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We're going to go to Coco Key, Bahamas. We're going to go to Carousel, and we're going to go to Aruba. Aruba alone is worth the price. And listen to the headline bands. Frankie Hollywood Rodriguez from GCI will be spinning the great oldies songs. The Jersey Girls, all three of them will be there on this ship. Mojo's Jukebox, my rock band, Tony Ocean, the main event band, also including Ron Starr. And let's not forget Hillbilly Rock Stars, the number one country band in the city of Chicago, and the ringleaders themselves, Seventh Heaven. This is 8 days Chicago Music Cruise. Tell them Tony Ocean sent you, or give Mary a call at 630-688-1725 and join us on that wonderful cruise, the Chicago Music Cruise 2025. Again, March 22nd to March 30, 2025. We got plenty of time to get in there, folks. You love cruising. It's a lot of fun and a lot of entertainment, a lot of stops, and a lot of great food and drinks, especially those drink packages, what I love, because people don't realize also on the cruise, if you don't get the drink package, you get charged for everything, right? That's including coffee, soda, water, and water's about $18 a bottle on the cruise. So if you get the drink package, everything is included: drinks, juice, coffee, everything, booze, beer, all you want, everywhere. And when you go to the Royal Caribbean, when you go to Coco Key, Bahamas, that island is owned by the Royal Caribbean, so your drinks are free on that island as well, food and drinks. So it's a great deal. You can't miss it. It's a lot of fun, and we're excited about that. How about one more sponsor here, Gorelli Pavement Services. Now it's the time to get this stuff done in your businesses or homes. Gorelli Pavement Services, family-owned and operated. They service Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana, specializing in parking lots, asphalt, concrete work. They do repairs, replacements, seal coating, crack filling, lot painting. They're a 5-star rating. Call, speak to a knowledgeable representative, 815-271-5835, or go to GorelliPavementServices.com and tell them Tony O sent you. And since we're trying to clean up the house and do everything businesses-wise, how about that backyard landscaping? Jack Vena Landscaping. They offer monthly maintenance programs, bush trimming, spring and fall cleanup, bed mulching, fertilizing, weed control. They offer plant design service and installation, servicing the North Shore for 44 years. Call Tommy at 847-432-5266 and tell him Tony O sent you. Cousin Tommy. All these places I always promote because it's buy local, shop local, and that's what's important, folks. And they'll all give you special deals when you mention Ocean's Pit. Coming up real soon, my good friend Tina St. Angelo Wetzel, theater critic from Broadway World Chicago. She goes, we're going to talk about some plays that are going on and some musicals, sports, maybe some movies. We'll talk about some good stuff. A couple things. Let's get to it. Like I said, it's Friday, August 2nd. IHOP, for all you IHOP fans, remember the IHOP all-you-can-eat pancakes? Well, they're back, folks. All-you-can-eat pancakes at the IHOP. I'm sure all you people can't wait to get there. Here's the catch, ladies and gentlemen. You have to order a breakfast combo, and whatever you get free pancakes on the side, as many as you want. IHOP, I didn't even know IHOP was still in business, but there they are. Congratulations to Simone Biles, of course. Wow. She'd become the most decorated Olympic gymnast in American history. 8 medals on this woman. I think she's tied for another one for 5 medals, but whatever. Congratulations. It's good. I'm not much of an Olympic, especially when I seen the intro of that bullshit with the drag queens. I don't care about that shit. They can do what they want, but not during the Olympics. I don't care where you want to do your stuff. That's your business, but not on the Olympics. It's supposed to be about sports. That's what it's supposed to be about. So didn't care much for that. Happy 43 wedding anniversary, 43 years. My good friend Star and Daryl. God bless you, 43 years. They'll be joining us on the cruise. Gotta love that. Also, happy 10-month wedding to our good friend Josie and Matt Boone. Of course, Josie from the Josie Awards, which we are nominated again in Nashville, Tennessee at the Grand Ole Opry for Ocean's Pit. We won 2 years ago for the best media show and independent media show. Now, remember, this is the Josie Awards is the number one and I think the only independent award show at the Grand Ole Opry, and Ocean's Rat Pack won last year for Best Tribute Act. We're both nominated again this year in September. We'll be going live from the Grand Ole Opry in September, so that'll be very, very cool. We're excited about that. Naperville Ribfest canceled. That's right, folks. After 35 years, a lot of festivals are kind of going down compared to what they used to be. The budgets are different, but the pricing now at all these places for beefs and drinks and stuff like that, it's just sky high. And they cancel it, so it is what it is. Frankie Setta, how you doing? Jerry Jams, see you Saturday. Jack Gale, Albert from the Ron Onesti organization, Pamela, Mary, Ryan. Also, guys, yesterday at Zaza's, someone mentioned on my page, Tony, it was great seeing you on the Ocean's Pit Facebook page. I didn't get a chance to see who it is to respond or anything. So I know she watches the show, obviously, because she put the message on Ocean's Pit. If you're watching today, can you please come up on the comments and let me know who you were? I really do appreciate it. And I want to say thank you too for coming and supporting the show. That's right, Jerry Jams. The food was way too high at all those places. Hi, Michelle. How are you doing? Welcome to Ocean's Pit. Tina St. Angelo Wetzel coming up very shortly, folks. Very, very cool. Cubs, Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox. They are voted most hated teams right now in Major League Baseball. They're a joke. All the money they put on that manager, the Cubs should be doing much better. And the Sox, time to move out of Chicago. I hope they don't, but why be number 2 when you can go to Nashville and be number 1? And they'll put everything in it. Just my opinion, but we'll see. I don't know. It's a little crazy. Vince Amore, another great entertainer in the house. How you doing, buddy? There's Mary Grievous. And my good buddy, Danny Nozak. How about those Yankees? Second place. They're up there with the Orioles. It's going to be interesting. We're going to talk sports, too, with Tina, because she loves sports, too. And I know she's a Yankee fan. So a lot of good stuff. Did you guys ever have tents in your yard? I love going camping. I always used to go on tents with my buddy George. He passed away, George Tark. And we used to go even in the wintertime. We just got back. We got a camper down my buddy Carlos. So when we go out there, it's cool. I love camping, but I never had one in my backyard. But I do remember the Jilly's house, when I used to work for Jilly's for 15 years downtown on Rush Street. They also had one in Lake Geneva. When we opened the one in Lake Geneva, they gave us a Jilly's house, where all the employees didn't have to drive home after working there, which was very cool. We ended up renting the house, me and my second wife, Kim. But the reason why I liked it, there was a tree house in back, a full-fledged tree house. And we had a real fireplace, which was great because I love real fireplaces with real wood. But I tell you, I spent more time sleeping in that treehouse than I did in my own bed over there, because I just love the tree houses. Sure did camp with my family till I was 18, right? Camping is great. Jerry, White Sox should have traded their manager and trade deadline managers. Yeah, they need to go too. But what are you going to do, right? A treehouse. I spend more time in that treehouse. Absolutely. All right, it's that time, folks. But you know what? Let's get one more sponsor out. Armando Supermarkets, Danny Mazzi, buy local, shop local, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. And Mike and Gigi from Crash Champions Collision Auto Repair. For all your collision auto repair needs, go to crashchampions.com. Carol Brandolino, if you're watching, I hope you're feeling better. Don't forget me and Carol. She's my co-host every Tuesday on Twisted Tuesday. All right, a couple other dates. Make sure coming up. Also, Wednesday, we were at Kelsey's Roadhouse. in Lake Barrington, and we did the show for the Almost Home Foundation for Dogs, which I walk dogs every Tuesday. It's a great organization. Tell Double T, Tony, thank you. And thank you for everybody that showed up. I want to thank Dan and Dina Nozak for your generous donation. I want to thank my friend Debbie for her donation, but we raised about $5,000. Thank you, Kelsey's Roadhouse. Thank you, Joe from Stevie McVie for taking pictures, donating his pictures, actually. And, of course, Kelly Kane and her crew for putting that together, seeing great Mayor Tom Daly there. Buddy, thank you for your generation. Everybody, it's for the dogs. It's important. And I love all animals. If someone's doing a benefit for squirrels, I'll be there. So animals in general, which I love. All right. So let's bring up my guest. She's an actress herself. She loves Broadway plays and musicals, and she was on the show before. She loves sports, and we're going to talk about some stuff that's going on now. She works with the theater critic for the Broadway World Chicago. She's going to tell you about what to see, what's good, the thumbs up, thumbs down, and whatever. And we even go back on some of the musical that's playing in New York and around the country and get her thoughts on that. And we'll talk a little sports as well, especially about the Chicago Bears. What a joke yesterday. Did they win? They didn't win, even though they were winning 21-17 with 3 minutes and 31 seconds left because of the rain delay, whatever it was. So is it really a win? I don't think it was a win, but we'll see what Tina says. Let's bring her on. Tina, St. Angelo Wetzel in the house. Tina, how you doing?
I'm good, Mo. How you doing?
Good, my dear friend. What's going on with you? Where are you at? You here in Chicago? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm here in Naperville. I just finished a show at my Summer Place Theater called All Shook Up.
Yeah.
All Elvis music.
That.
Yeah,
what was that
all
like?
Elvis music, but it's not about Elvis, but the lead character is Elvis based.
Okay.
The songs are arranged differently than when you hear Elvis sing them. So it's very cool. And I think I sent you a clip of Can't Help Falling in Love with You. It's the closing of Act 1. And we surround the audience. The house lights come up and they see us and they gasp. A lot of sniffling from the audience during that too. It's
I can imagine.
As I call it, it's the money moment.
Tina, what part did you play? What did you do in the play?
I was in the ensemble, but there were like 4 of us that our director lovingly called us cougars. So we get to flirt with all the different males and we dance.
Oh, there you go. The cougars. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was fun. It was a really good time. Very upbeat show. Lots of music. Oh, my gosh. Lots of music.
And that's a summer theater. Now, what's the difference between summer theater and winter theater besides the
weather?
The weather? That's it?
Really? Yeah. I mean, summer theater is so popular all around. You know, it's called community theater. And most, there might be 6 or 7 companies in the area doing a show. Unfortunately, at least one weekend, everybody is all performing, so we can't go see anybody's show. But
right. Are these shows inside? Are they inside or outside?
No, they're all inside.
Oh, they're inside. So that's very, very cool.
Yeah. So we use high schools, things like that.
When you talk about Broadway, off Broadway, on Broadway, it's a certain clientele that likes that stuff, right? Do you see different ages of people coming to these shows? Or I mean, basically they're all musicals, right? Most of these plays, most of the stuff.
In New York, it's half and half. Out here, though, for community theater, most of it is musicals.
Musicals.
Some people do the classics, which would be considered Sound of Music. Oklahoma, as I recall, you were Curly.
Curly, there's a bright golden haze on the meadow. Yes, I remember.
Yes. The Rodgers and Hammerstein are classics. Everybody likes that.
Yeah.
But it is kind of geared towards younger people.
Well, let me ask you something too. As a critic, did you always into it? How did you get involved in that stuff? Did you want to be a critic all the time, or someone just said, okay, let's you do it, Tina?
That fell into my lap. I followed Broadway World on Facebook. And one time, it was about 2.5 years ago, they said, we're looking for somebody in the Chicago area, like suburbs, and send us a piece of writing. So I sent them something I had written about the movie All About Eve, the Betty Davis
Okay.
classic
All
film.
right.
And the fact I told them how close I lived to the Paramount, to Drury Lane, and I think they really liked that. And it took about 5 days, and that was it.
And let
I
me ask you,
started writing.
how long have you been doing it?
My first review was March 5th of 2022. I just come
Very,
back from New
very
York.
cool. And you enjoy it? And do you enjoy it? Is there a big difference though between Chicago musicals? Obviously, New York is, would you say, better, or what's the difference in your opinion?
Well, generally, what Chicago gets is either a national tour, which started in New York, or we
Okay.
get the premieres that go to New York, like the producers, Mel Brooks with Nathan
Yeah.
Lane. That
Yeah.
started in Chicago.
Okay.
And even though it's February, they still love to have Chicago be the premiere because they know how well it does.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Being a critic, though, and it's true, I think it used to be, I don't know if it still is, but either a music critic, when an artist comes out with a record and they review it, same thing with a critic with Broadway or these plays and stuff. It can ruin a show, couldn't it? If it's a powerful critic, can it ruin a show even though the show is
not
good?
like it used to. Not like it used to. Critics used to be really powerful. It Music Man with Hugh Jackman 2 years ago did not get rave reviews, but they ran for over a year. So
Is that good, Tina? What's good running? How long? Okay, how long does it have to be running to say it was a successful play?
over 2 years. I mean, there
Over
were shows
2 years.
on Broadway that ran for 15 years.
Yeah, and I mean
Like
we're talking a little
Phantom
bit. Yeah, yeah. There you go, Phantom of the Opera, right? I'm
was
sure that
like
ran.
30 years on Broadway.
How about Wicked? How many years on Broadway?
Oh gosh, it's still playing.
And you know
25
what?
years.
That's a long time.
It's a
Joanne
long
Lulo,
time.
how are you doing? Lillian, Jill from Indiana, how are you doing? Johnny Garini, a great entertainer in Chicagoland area. Johnny, how you doing? We have Tina St. Angela Wetzel. Tina, so do you like when you see these plays? It's almost like the movie. Are they based on the book, or does someone come up with original ideas and they change the story completely?
Well, what usually happens is a show that starts out on the stage and then goes
Mhm.
to a movie.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's still the same story, but making a movie, they can take license and do, all sorts of other things. Well, like Back to the Future is opening up in a few weeks. It's now a musical live on the stage, and it's opening up in Chicago in like 2 weeks. I may go review it. I'm very curious.
That's what I'm saying. How does one come about and say, hey, this is going to be great. Let's make it a musical or let's make it a play. How does that even come about?
It's got to, it's got to be, somebody who's got money and says, I'll back it. Let's do this and let's see what happens.
Why is the critic not so important anymore like it used to be?
Print, media. Remember back in the days of the newspapers?
Yeah.
The writing, the columnists, those
Yeah.
people ran the towns. It's not that way anymore.
Yeah, now you can just, and there's been times a movie said, people say, don't go see it, it's horrible. Like, for instance, Horizon, the American Saga with Kevin Costner, part 1. I went to see it. It's over, I think, 4 hours. I just love Westerns. I thought it was great. I guess it didn't do that well, that they might not release the second one, part 2. It might go right to cable, whatever,
Video?
but a video, whatever. Yeah, back then you have right to video. So I don't know, but but is it hard to come up with anything original anymore, play wise?
Right now it feels like it. It really does. I mean, jukebox musicals are big because you've got the songs. Now let's create a story.
And that's how that worked. Robert General Provenzano, Kathy Appolito, how you doing, Kathy, from Santa Barbara? The Lion King. I didn't see it. Did you see it?
Yes.
Was it good?
I thought so. I mean, Disney kind of started that trend. And I think the Little Mermaid might have been the first one, and I may be wrong on that. But Disney, the ones that Disney has come up with, they work. They
They
work.
work.
And
Yeah.
Frozen is now finally making a national tour, and this is going to be huge. It is
It's
going to
going to be
sell
big.
out, and it's going to be huge because all these kids who grew up on Frozen over the past 10 years are waiting to see it live on the stage.
Yeah. I don't know what
It's
a
going to be
Frozen
big.
is. I don't know what a Frozen is, but I heard it's kind of big. Let's see, a couple always winning, saying Joseph and the Amazing Technical Dreamcoat ran for 12 years.
Yep.
Robert Provenzano goes, what did you think of The Good and the Bad in the Garden at the Goodman Theater? Did you see that?
I didn't see it. I have talked to people who saw it, and a lot of them were disappointed,
Because
which is too bad.
why did you think they said it was disappointed?
Well, I know that the movie was really good, and then they changed it into a musical. But yeah, I had some friends who saw it, and they were just very disappointed in it. They, I think also because it's at the Goodman, you expect everything to be, 10 stars.
10 stars, right, exactly.
Like Tommy was last summer.
Oh, Tommy,
was
the Who,
huge. I saw it twice.
the Who story, right? Pinball Wizard, Tommy. Yeah, right.
I
The
saw it
movie,
twice.
original
I knew
musical
two
with the
people
Who.
in it.
Yeah, Elton John was in it. Yeah, right. Pinball Wizard, the Who, of course, basically. Yes, caught live. Finally, always great tonight. Thank you, Peter Prado. Tell me about the $1 Million Quartet. I think you went to see that. And now
Yes.
that one has been running around for years.
Years.
Now, basically, did it really happen or did not happen?
It did happen. And
Okay.
there was December 4th, 1956, I believe. And Jerry Lee Lewis was not yet well known. He was kind of a studio musician, and Carl Perkins was going to lay down some tracks. And so Sam Phillips asked Jerry Lee to come in to play the piano. And so Jerry Lee was in studio, Carl was in studio. Elvis had left Sun Records, and he came in because he was in town. He dropped in, and then Johnny Cash showed up. Well, this was the only time the four of them were ever together, and they had a little jam session, and there was an engineer there who had the brilliant idea to record it.
Now,
and there is a photo.
Did they release that on? Can you buy that on a DVD,
Nope.
CD, anything like that? No. So you have to see the play. Carol Brandolino from Twisted Tuesday. Carol, hope you're feeling well. She says she saw Beetlejuice recently in Chicago. She said it was amazing. Did you look at that at all?
No, but I will bet it was maybe the set design and the effects and all that kind of thing when you have something like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
I would think that would be a huge factor. That's
Right,
what I
I
think
think
is going to happen with Back to the Future, because the car and everything like that.
Yeah. Right. And I think Beetlejuice is coming out with another movie. I think Michael Keaton's playing Beetlejuice again, which would be interesting to see. Let's see here. Chorus Line, Drury Lane. What was that? Now that's been going on for years, right?
No, it has not. People have not been mounting it lately, and they did it a year ago, February, and it is my favorite musical. And
it is your favorite, okay?
It is my favorite. It is my favorite. So I was thrilled that I got to review it, and during the course of the evening, critics get a bigger. It's not a playbill; we get a folder. And I was just looking through it, and a woman asked me, "Oh, what are you looking at?" And I told her, I'm a critic, and that her son. This was his first Chicago professional show. He was in the show. And she was thrilled. He actually was in Tommy at the Goodman, and he went to New York. His name is Andrew. So Andrew, I love you.
There you go.
So I wrote about him at the very end of my review, that he is living what this story is about. It's a wonderful show.
It's wonderful out there. Tina St. Angelo Wetzel here tonight, theater critic from Broadway World Theater, talking about stuff that's there. You're an actress as well. What's next? What's next for you personally?
Not sure.
What are you going to do?
Not sure. I do have my review calendar is filling in, so that's nice. But there have been a few auditions for some shows in September, but I'm not doing any of that. But I'll wait and see what comes down the road. There are a few places that do shows in January, so might as well do a show in January.
You might as well. Do you, Tina? Do you decide if you want to review it, or do you have to review it if they ask you to?
We get an email from. There's like 5 of us, and we get an
Okay.
email from our guy in Chicago, and he, gives us the title and is anybody interested. Whoever responds first gets to do the show.
Do you critics get along at all? Do you guys all get along? Is there
I've never met.
Any more anal than others? I mean, how does that all work in the critic world?
To be honest, I've never met the other critics. It's all it's all we're emailed.
Okay.
I've never met them.
You never met them. Well, maybe you guys should get together and have a cocktail or something.
I mean, it's not like Siskel and Ebert, okay?
Yeah, I used to love those two, and especially when they used to always. I'm surprised that they don't have that anymore on television. Someone like that, do they?
No. I don't think.
Tina, you might want to start that. Tina, you might want to get one of your critics and maybe do one on a podcast where you guys do your own thumbs up, thumbs down, or maybe give it the middle finger or the down finger. I don't know, come up with something different. But I used to love that. I used to love the sports writers. Remember the old guys, the sports writers?
Ben Bradley.
Yes, they were great. They sat around with their newspaper, cigars. You could barely see them with the smoke.
Rick Callender.
This guy sucks and this guy's good. Yeah, they were great. I used to love that in that little
I love that.
studio.
I watched that all the time. Oh my gosh.
Let's see. Back to back. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about some other ones here. Of Sound of Music's been around. Let me ask you though, is it a step down when a big movie star gets out of the movies and goes to Broadway? Is it like remember back in the day, if you were a big movie star and you went to TV, it was kind of low. Is it the same thing with Broadway, or do you get more respect with the going to Broadway?
Probably more respect, because first of all, you're doing a show live eight nights a week. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, you know
about that.
Well, now listen, you being an actress and doing it, and how do these people memorize these lines? I don't know. I mean, I know even in soap operas, it's very hard to be a soap opera star and last that long. How do these people do it? I mean, does any of them get to cheat?
I haven't seen too much cheating lately, but everybody has a different way of memorizing. Some people record and then they keep playing it back over and over and over. I just kind of, I just keep reading my script. I mean, I've got like 6 scripts sitting here, that I've done, but I highlight. And then I just keep going through it. But yeah, everybody has a different way of memorizing. Then when you throw in 16 songs.
Yeah. Do you get, it's like a movie though. You got 3 or 4 takes. So it's easy maybe to remember the lines because there's like, all right, let's do it again, whatever. But a play, you're live in front of an audience. Does the actors get any leeway to maybe change a couple words, or they have to do word for word how it is when it's the musical or these plays?
You don't consciously change a line. Now, I mean, I have been in shows where I may say the line minus 1 word, and then somebody might say something like, "Oh, did you mean," even on stage, "Oh, did you mean blah, 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 blah."
You mean to tell me if you said, boy, she didn't do that right, and you said, boy, she didn't do that, they would correct you because you didn't use the word right?
It depends. It depends on the line.
Depends on the line.
Yeah,
okay.
Depends on the line.
What do you think one of those big stars, what is a musical guy you think, a big star, what do you think he makes on something like that? He or she makes payment-wise? Any idea?
It's a really good question. I mean, I know they paid Hugh Jackman a boatload of money for Music Man.
What about when you're summer? Now that's all a volunteer, obviously. The summer,
we do, yes.
Theater like that. But does the stage hands and all those people too? They're doing it for free. The light guy and the sound, all those guys do it too, or do they get paid?
It depends on which company you're with. It depends on what their board decides. I mean, yes, the director gets paid, things like that. Each company is different.
Well, it's interesting stuff, and everything that's happening here, especially Wicked. Let's go. I'm gonna throw a couple plays at you. Tell me if you've seen them, and tell me what you think of them. Let's go to Aladdin.
I've never seen it.
Did it do well? Do you know?
I think it did. Yeah, I think it did really well.
Because it's a Disney thing, correct?
It's a Disney,
yeah.
Right.
Okay, so Wicked has been huge. Now, are
Still
you
running
ready
on Broadway?
It's still running. What about now? They're making the movie. Is that true?
Right. Yeah, it comes out around Thanksgiving. I will go see it. I'm very curious.
Do you think it'll be better than the play?
Well, again, movies can do so many things, with special effects. And in Wicked, there's a huge special effect at the end of Act 1, and I'm sure the movie is just going to take it to a new height.
To another level, yeah. Let's go to Hamilton. Hamilton.
Great. I reviewed it last year, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Well, let me ask you something. Now, obviously, the Hamilton we're talking about was a white cast. Now they turn it into an African American cast, just like when The Wiz did that and they changed it. Is there any difference? Because they weren't actually the character. Does that make any sense to you how the play makes, or does it really make a difference?
It doesn't. Most of the time, it really doesn't make a difference. I mean, there may be some people, historical buffs, who, no, that's not what happened.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah, the historical part of the actual information. Right. But it was big. I know all my kids went to see it. My wife, they loved it. How about Chicago?
I'm embarrassed to say I've never seen it, but I do know that it's been running a long time, and it's got great music in it. It's got great dancing. Can't beat Bob Fosse, his choreography. He was a Chicago boy.
Yeah, there is. That's true. Always Winning says the musical Chicago ran 600 performances. Wow. Deanna says Aladdin is still on Broadway. Very cool. The Phantom of the Opera, 1986. How about the Michael Jackson musical?
I did not see it, but a friend of mine saw it, and she said it blew her away. She said the kid who played Michael was fabulous, and he won the.
There's a couple out there that. Yeah, there's a couple out there that I remember seeing a couple of them in the Legend shows. Some of these guys, like, wow. I mean, this Michael Jackson guy, I don't know if he was the same guy. There's a couple of them out there that are fantastic in what they do. And, it's crazy if you like Michael Jackson or not. It's good to go see because, he did have a lot. I was more a Michael Jackson fan with the Jackson 5. I wasn't too much care when he went solo.
Right.
But, of course, that's when his career bombed. What about this one here, the Book of Mormon?
The Book of Mormon, I never saw that one, but I do know that it did really well. And I know it's supposed to be very funny, very funny. And,
it's supposed to be very funny.
Yes. And a lot of my friends have seen it, and they said they just laughed through the whole show.
And let's talk about go ahead.
When you were talking about like Michael Jackson and all that, for the guys in $1 Million Quartet, especially the guy who plays Jerry Lee Lewis, he is jumping over the piano, on top of the piano. I mean, this is a high energy show. And I mean, they all sing, like Folsom Prison Blues. I mean, everybody sings. So, I mean, for anybody who really loves that kind of stuff, I mean, it's out here in Aurora, but I highly go. It's a small theater, which is really cool. You're right there. And it's just an amazing production. So shout out to Stolt Theater in Aurora.
Very cool. Is the prices changed a lot ticket wise? Everything's obviously got more expensive. Is it the same way with the theaters? I mean, the plays?
I think the most expensive one that I'm finding here out in the suburbs where I live, Drury Lane is the most expensive. Sorry to say that, Drury Lane, but it's true.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. This is what I can't figure out. And then the Paramount, which is bigger than the Drury Lane, is reasonably priced. Oh my gosh. And then
Okay. So people that are interested in going, what's a reasonable price?
Okay. Personally, for me, I feel that if you can sit in the front row at the Paramount and pay $79, that's pretty good.
And what's a front row at the Drury Lane?
104.
104. So there is a big difference there.
Yeah, that is a big difference. Then the smaller theaters are not as expensive.
Unbelievable. You know, we're getting all some great information here. Let's go to The Wiz.
I never saw The Wiz, but the funny thing is I still have the original Broadway recording from 1970, whatever it was. So
there you go, right?
Yeah.
It was big when it first came out.
It was huge.
It was huge when it first came out. So how about another play that's been around for years that I can remember, Blue Man Group?
Oh my gosh. You know, that I think they're still playing.
They are.
I've never seen it, but I know people they just go crazy for it. And
that's also got it's a running play in Las Vegas. I think it runs all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. What about Romeo and Juliet? I mean, I don't. Is it still playing? Did it play? I mean, I don't know.
Wait, Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah. Did they even do one of that?
Well, if we're talking Shakespeare, the last movie of Romeo and Juliet I remember was the one in the 60s with Len Whiting and Olivia Hussey.
Okay, so that was the one there. But did they ever put that on play? Did they ever do that in a play?
Well, it's always been a play.
Right.
So the Shakespeare Company downtown Chicago will do it. They do basically all Shakespeare.
Tina, what are you excited about? What's coming up that people maybe not know it's coming? Something that you're excited about, to review or to see? What's coming up in 2024, 2025?
Well, so here in Aurora, the next big show at the Paramount is going to be the Full Monty.
Oh,
and then after that will be Frozen. Drury Lane is getting ready to premiere the Audience. It's almost a one-woman show about an audience with Queen Elizabeth II. But they are also going to be doing Beautiful in 2025. And Beautiful has been going around the area. It's the Carole King musical. Broadway in Chicago, I'm not sure what their whole lineup is. But there's going to be some really good stuff that I think people, might want to go see. And from what I understand about the Full Monty, it's going to be the Full Monty.
It's going to be full. So, there's going to be no close. All right. So that'll be interesting. How many times have you been to New York and seen the plays out there?
Not as much as I would like. But when I go, I try to get in at least 2 shows. The last time I was there, I did 3. I did 2 shows in one day. Some people
2 shows in one day. There you go. I remember did they have King Kong out there? They had King Kong, the musical.
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen did a musical or something about his storytellers, whatever. That was huge. Right. I remember the only musical I think I've ever seen. I've not seen many. I remember going to see Beatlemania when it first came out in the 70s.
Did you like it?
Loved it. I mean, it was like reenactment of the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. And, it was like the very first. Mitch Weissman played Paul McCartney, a great entertainer. Okay. And even Marshall Crenshaw for a while played John Lennon. So that was kind of cool. But, yeah, it's great.
I got to tell you, my very first professional show was in Chicago in 1967. It was Sammy Davis Jr. and Golden Boy.
Golden Boy. Now that is so cool. Yeah, Sammy did a couple there, of course. Where do you see before you got to go? Where do you see Broadway going? What else can they do to bring in the young? Do you see younger people besides the Disney stuff?
Right.
Do you see younger people going to these musicals? Forget the Disney stuff.
Right. I think they're doing all right. It's just sometimes I get to the point it's like, okay, let's do some revivals. let's do some old classic revivals because people still enjoy it. Let's do Rodgers and Hammerstein. Let's do Lerner and Lowe. I mean, the Lerner and Lowe revival of Camelot, what I understood was it was a little kind of out there and it was not what people were expecting. So now I have to ask you a non-entertainment question.
Shoot.
Did you watch the Pete Rose documentary?
No, but it's on my list. I'm going to watch it. We're going to talk about now. We're going to talk a couple minutes about sports. Let's number one, Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle, one of the greatest baseball players, in my opinion.
Yes.
No one's ever going to beat his hitting record.
Yes.
Charlie Hustle was a hustler. He played. He didn't care if it was an all-star game. When he hit Ray Fosse, that was an all-star game. Some people didn't like it, but you know what? Ray Fosse didn't care because he knew it was Charlie Hustle. It was Pete Rose being Pete Rose. Obviously, him gambling, all the trouble that he got into. I believe if Pete Rose would have admitted at the time, hey, man, I screwed up. I need help. He would have been back in baseball. He would have been coaching. He'd been managing. He would be there. And from people to learn by the great Pete Rose. The question to you is, what was the documentary like?
Well, okay, we really didn't learn anything new. Okay. But it went from, well, first of all, just to see the clips that they have. I mean, that's worth it alone. All the old baseball clips. Yeah. We didn't learn anything new, but what I came away with is Pete is, I don't think he's sorry. I think he's sorry he got caught. He's not apologized. I don't think he's no. And I think he really feels he did nothing wrong because many times he says, hey, I didn't kill anybody. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Well, you signed a document when you became a baseball player. And in that document, it says you do not bet. So.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, even when his book came out, he kind of admitted it, but he really didn't. He waited so long. And then another slap to the face. I don't know if you knew this, but during All-Star week at Cooperstown, Hall of Fame week, whatever you want to call it, before, if you're driving to Cooperstown, right, like 2 blocks or something before you get to Cooperstown, Pete Rose has a restaurant. There you go. Pete Rose has a restaurant. There you go. And he's signing the balls and autographs and all that stuff before you. So that was probably another slap to the face to Major League Baseball. The question is on everybody's mind, Tina, does Pete Rose belong in the Hall of Fame?
Here's the thing. He was not juicing up. He did all those records. He did. He was a phenomenal baseball player.
Yep.
The records deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Correct.
As I'm banging on my.
Why don't they just put a little section for the steroid guys, for the murderers, or whatever, whoever got beaten his wife? You're in room 8, the people who beat their wives. I believe he probably will get in after he passes away.
Exactly. And he does bring that up in the documentary.
Remember, Ron Santo would have never been in the Hall of Fame if Ron Santo did not die. I hate to say it, but the critics did not like Ron Santo.
No, nor did they, and they didn't put Buck O'Neill in until after Buck died.
After Buck died. So, you know what it is, look, Ty Cobb is in there. You can't meet a more racist guy in the world. He was brutal.
And the thing is, Ty Cobb and Pete Rose played the same way. Ty did it with his spikes, and Pete did it with his body.
With his body. Charlie Hustle, he was the best. Real quick, Cubs. What do you think about the Chicago Cubs this year?
Right now, not too much. Same thing with the Sox. It's just very sad.
Do you think the Sox will move out of Chicago?
I don't think so. And to be honest, I mean, I grew up here, and having 2 baseball teams, we're very lucky. You know, there's only a handful of cities that have 2 baseball teams.
Good point. I think if they went but if he went to Nashville, they would be like kings out there. You know,
but I don't want them to go to Nashville.
All right, Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Bears every year. Justin Fields, this guy. They're always going to be the great. We're going to win 9. We're going to win 10. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it. What about you?
As much as I hate to say this, I don't think there's going to be any change in the Bears until the lovely Mrs. McCaskey is no longer with us. And I do adore her. She is a pioneer. There's 4 women who were pioneers in the NFL, and she's one of them. But I don't think there will not be any change.
I believe until the McCaskies go too. I think it's just a joke, and until they go, bring in someone who knows football, and I think it would be maybe have them keep part of the team, whatever. But they have to. Maybe the kids are ready to sell. I don't know. Maybe they're just waiting for the mom to pass away.
And Tony, I want to be the commissioner of baseball, and I know that's never going to happen. But
well, there you go. Absolutely,
I want to be the commissioner.
Bernie DeMayo, the great My Publicist, one of the great guys there. If you're looking for a great publicist, Bernie is the man. If Pete Rose is playing today, he could get odds off on the scoreboards every inning. You know what? Pete Rose deserves to be in there. I believe it. Look, McGuire said he was sorry. He went right back to baseball with the juicing, right? And I don't think we're going to see it, but it is what it is.
No.
Tina St. Angelo Wetzel. I like that. St. Angelo. Is that a stage thing or is that real?
No, that is my family name.
Okay,
that is my dad's. That's my dad's last name.
I love it. It's very, very cool. And Wetzel obviously was your married name, right? Or still is? Are you married still? Okay, very cool. You're not related to the Wetzels in Elmwood Park, are you?
No.
No? Okay. It's a popular name. There's a lot of them out there.
You said you were going to Iowa to where? Dubuque?
Dubuque. This Sunday we'll be there, yes.
Do you go through Dubuque?
I think we do. I don't know.
Well, if you go that way, a little further down the road is where the Field of Dreams is.
That's right. And you know what? I went past. I think I was there years ago. I was happy were you happy when they actually had real live games there?
Yeah.
Why do you think they waited so long to do this?
Well, I know that for years there's been this battle between the 2 property owners.
Yeah.
So they had to figure something out about that. But no, I'm thrilled that they're playing baseball there. I think it's wonderful.
I think so too. I think it's it's good. Got to get out there. It's a good Field of Dreams, of course, one of my favorite movies. Kevin Costner was great there. Anyway, Tina, thank you so much for your time and keep doing what you're doing. And when you come up with a new play, whatever you're going to do, please let us know about it. Okay.
I will. Thanks, Mo. This was so fun. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tina St. Angelo Wetzel, everybody. Thank you. Have a great weekend there, Tina. Guys, it is great. Let's get right to a quick sponsor. We're running out of time here, so let's get to Deutsch Power Center, servicing the Chicago and diesel industry in the last 100 years. Call Sal at 224-276-6550. And since Bernie DeMayo, my good buddy, don't forget Bernie DeMayo. He's there, folks. If you're looking for a publicist, Bernie is the guy, man. He's available. He does great jobs. He's experienced. Absolutely creative and smart. He gets you on the papers, on television, radio. Bernie DeMayo, BernieDeMayo.com, or give him a call at 312-217-5658 and tell him Tony O sent you. And let's not forget our good friends, some Airtight Windows. Absolutely. That's buy local, shop local for Airtight Windows. If you're looking for new windows and you want it done right, do it right with Airtight. For honesty and quality, dependability, do it right with Airtight. Servicing Chicagoland area for 35 years. Do it right with Airtight. Call Louis at 708-788-5000 and tell him Tony O sent you and you'll get a special deal. That's what you're talking about with our good friends from very cool. Airtight windows, sidings, everything needs that stuff in the house. Guys, we got big shows coming up. Don't forget, tonight, Chicago Prime Steakhouse. Tomorrow, Norton's in Highland Park. A Sunday in Dubuque, Iowa with Ocean's Rat Pack. Big shows coming up August 8th. open to the public shows. Moretti's in Edison Park, outside concert. Taylor Street, Ron Onesti's Little Italy Taylor Street, the best Italian festival in the Midwest, in my place, but everywhere. It's one of the best. We'll be there on the Friday night with the Main Event Band, all along with Regina Karma, Danny Ramundi, Tony Toto, Daryl Armenstad, Mikey D, Jerry Jams. That's our band, the Main Event Band. We're the headliners on Friday night, folks. Irene Michaels will be there. Vinny from the Bronx Wanderers. It's going to be great. Get out there, folks. Also on the 11th will be the Taste of Elmwood Park. And we're back in Mars, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, August 24th. Get out there. Get there early. Because it gets pretty crazy over there, folks. Absolutely. All right, we got some birthdays. Birthdays for Friday, August 2nd, as we're coming to the end of the hour. Wesley Snipes, the Blade Man, turned 62 years old. Country star Zach Brown, 46 years old. 45, happy 45 years to MTV. MTV, 45 years. Peter Bogdanovich, movie director and actor, celebrating a birthday. Dean Cain, remember him as Superman, 58 years old. Ted Cassidy, better known as Urang Lurch from the Addams Family, celebrating a birthday. Roz Kelly, 81 years old. Pinky Tuscadero, she was the girlfriend of Fonzie from Happy Days, 81. Dennis Wilson of the Worldwide Beach Boys, celebrating. Kenny Hark, one of the greatest drummers out of Chicago, played with Off-Broadway for many years. Also was with the band Badfinger. Kenny Hark, celebrating a birthday. Dana Lou, Dana, I know it's your birthday month, so happy birthday, Dana. There, Pat Lanzini from Highland Park, Highwood. Maybe we'll see you at Norton's. I have not seen you in a while. Dom DeLuise, what a great comic he was. We missed him. Great comic. Pat Cooper, got to play with open for Pat in New York, the great Pat Cooper. Michael Keaton, Beetlejuice, Batman, 67 years old. And Robert Englund, of course, Freddie. Played Freddie for many years, 72 years old. And Roland Kent LaVue, better known as Lobo. Baby, I want you to want me the way that I want you, the way that it should be. And me and a dog named Boo. Anyway, Lobo celebrating a birthday, 81 years old. We are coming, I guess, again to the end of the hour, guys. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank my good friend Tina, St. Angelo Wetzel, folks. Go out and see some plays. Go out and have some fun. Go out and do what you got to do, and it's important. Anyway, let's again thank our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. Download the Ace Rewards app. Easy way to keep track of your points, coupons, and special offers. Do it right with our good friends from Ace Hardware, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Guys, I want you to have an incredible weekend. Go out and support local establishments and live entertainment. Have fun. And it's crazy in this crazy world that we're in, and more shit keeps coming up. I don't understand. Amazing that some people don't care about this. Overall prices in general. We're better off 3 years ago. Overall prices is up 17%. Food costs are up 25%. Gas prices are up 40%. Credit card debt is up 46%. Home sales is up 26%. Real wages is 2%. I don't get this, folks. Then why should we talk about anything else? Why can anybody else worry about this? They're not worried about any of this stuff at all. An athlete won't judge you for working out. A millionaire won't judge you for starting a business. A musician won't judge you for trying to sing a song. A chef won't judge you to trying to cook. It's always the people going nowhere that judge you and have something to say. You ever notice that? The people that are working hard, doing what they're doing, always keep going. Last question, last thing I'm going to say. I have to answer this. Come out. For all you gun guys, I know it's something we're not supposed to talk about, guns and stuff. I always think about this. Obesity. It's not McDonald's and the fast food chains that are responsible. It's the individual. Alcohol. It's not the alcohol that's responsible. It's the individual. Cigarettes, cigars. It's not that responsibility. It's the person and that's doing it. Same thing with guns. Kamala Harris, who's running for president, says if Congress doesn't take action on mandatory gun compensation within the next first 100 days of her administration, she'll do it via executive order. I know a lot of people that have guns. I can understand that. They hunt. I understand people want them for protection, whatever it is. I think if anything needs to be changed with the whole gun thing, and that's, I'm not going to leave much more of that, maybe come up with a better way, a little bit more investigation on people who apply for these big rifles. I don't think you need to get those. But this is going to be something that we're going to argue all the time. And one last thing I want to ask you guys. So let me get this straight. I have to show my ID and passport to check in when I go to the airport. I got to take off my shoes and go through security. I got to show my boarding pass to get on the plane. But did you notice that the baggage claim, they don't care what bag you grab. You can grab 9 bags. Who would know? You pull a cart up, you get your bags, and you can grab 3 or 4 other people's bags. Nobody says shit about that. Right? Grab your bags and grab 3 or 4 other ones. Who knows? Nobody's stopping you with that. It's so meant. I mean, I don't get it. How some of these things are so hypocritical. Oh, it is what it is, folks. Anyway, we got to go. Have an incredible weekend. Go out and support local establishments, live entertainment. Support, 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 support. Buy local, shop local, in the great words of Ringo Starr, peace and love. We're not all going to agree on the same thing, but let's agree on making this world better. We need to, for a future for us and for our kids and for our grandkids. That's what's important. God bless you, everybody. Have an incredible weekend, and thank you for watching Ocean's Pit. We'll be back on Monday through Friday here, Ocean's Pit. Thank you again to my good friend Tina St. Angelo Wetzel from Broadway World. And go out and see a play. Go see a musical. Go see a live band. Go out and eat somewhere. Get out of the house. Have some fun, everybody. Nick Sahaj is the piano man. Take us out. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye. Ciao, as they say in Italy.
It's the end of the show. See you later from Tony.